Even moderate exposure to light while sleeping increases the risk of heart disease and diabetes. Exposure to even moderate ambient light while sleeping at night may contribute to diabetes and heart disease, according to a recent study. Scientists have determined that leaving even dim lights on in the bedroom can disrupt blood glucose regulation and cardiovascular function. Researchers at Northwestern University advise closing the blinds, shades, and curtains before bed. Their recent research has shown that even a single night spent in a room with the lights on is enough to cause our bodies to have a slightly poorer control of blood sugar levels the next morning. These studies, although conducted on a small group of people, are significant considering the fact that many people sleep with a lamp or TV on, which can disrupt the circulatory system and increase insulin resistance the next morning. The results of the work of scientists from Northwestern University Feinberg School of Medicine were published in the journal Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. The results of this study show that just one night of exposure to moderate indoor light during sleep can impair glucose regulation and cardiovascular function, which are risk factors for heart disease, diabetes, and metabolic syndrome, said senior study author Dr. Phyllis Z. of Northwestern University Feinberg School of Medicine. It is important for people to avoid or minimize light exposure during sleep, she added. Previous studies have shown that exposure to light during the day increases heart rate by activating the sympathetic nervous system, which in turn causes the heart to work harder to cope with the demands of the day. As the authors of the new study note, a similar effect also occurs at night when we sleep with lights or the TV on. Our results indicate that a similar effect also occurs when exposure to light occurs during nighttime sleep, Z admitted. This increases heart rate, preventing us from getting adequate rest. The sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems regulate our physiology both day and night. The sympathetic nervous system takes over during the day, while the parasympathetic nervous system is designed to work at night. Its job is to regenerate the body. We showed that your heart rate increases when you sleep in a moderately lit room, said Dr. Daniela Grimaldi, co-author of the study. Even when you're asleep, your autonomic nervous system is activated. That's bad. Typically, heart rate, along with other cardiovascular parameters, is lower at night and higher during the day, she noted. Previous population-based studies published in JAMA Internal Medicine found that people who sleep with the lights on or the TV on in their bedrooms are more likely to be overweight or have type 2 diabetes. Z's research appears to confirm those findings, suggesting a link between sleeping in a well-lit room and impaired glucose regulation and cardiovascular function, which may contribute to the development of diabetes and obesity. We're demonstrating a mechanism that may be fundamental to explaining why this happens, Z said. The Z team recruited 20 healthy individuals for the study. Participants were asked to spend 2 nights in a university sleep laboratory. On the first night, all participants slept in a dark room. On the second night, half slept with 100 lux of light, which is equivalent to a TV, a bedside lamp, or bright streetlight shining through thin curtains. After both nights, Z's team checked the blood sugar levels of all the volunteers using 2 commonly used tests. The results showed that people who slept in a dimly lit room on the second night had slightly worse blood sugar control than on the first night, when the room was dark. The volunteers thought they had slept well, but their brains knew the lights were on, Z said. Scientists observed signs of insulin resistance in people who slept in a dimly lit room the next morning. This disorder manifests itself in decreased insulin sensitivity in muscles, fat tissue, liver, and other body tissues. In other words, muscle tissues and organs do not respond well to insulin and are less able to use glucose from the blood for energy. In this case, the pancreas begins to produce more insulin, and over time, blood sugar levels rise. The study participants were unaware of the biological changes occurring in their bodies during the night. But the brain senses it. It works like the brain of someone who has light and fragmented sleep, admitted Grimaldi, adding that in such a case, the body doesn't rest as it should. As the study authors noted, exposure to artificial light at night while sleeping is common. This primarily involves light-emitting devices in our homes, but also light sources outside the home, especially in large urban areas. Furthermore, many people sleep with a nightlight or bedroom light on and/or the television on. Light exposure during the day is an important factor for health, but at night, as our research has shown, even low light levels can disrupt measures of heart and endocrine health. These findings are particularly important for people living in modern societies where exposure to nighttime light, both indoors and outdoors, is increasingly common, Zee emphasized. The study's authors recommend limiting lighting in the bedroom first. If a light must be on, it should be dim, low, and closer to the floor. Light color also matters. Amber or red-orange light is less stimulating to the brain, while white and blue light are the worst, and the researchers advise against using them around a sleeping person. If you can't control the light intensity in the room where you plan to sleep, a sleeping mask can help. You can also try moving your bed so the light doesn't hit your face.